It is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Come on, listen up, ladies.
Seat belts. Safety first.
Wait a minute now, just how you tell me, just wait 1 minute. Oh Lord Jesus.
Y'all, today I'm doing something a little bit different. Today is all about my mom. So it's called the Legacy Photo Shoot.
Yes, for African American females, and they want to honor all of the females, but especially targeting the first 5 Black African American females that came on the job and everything. And for those of you all that did not know, I was the 3rd African American female that came on with my city and things, and I am thankful and grateful to know that I was part of Trailblazing. And I say that because I just had an aha moment, didn't even realize what happened, what I did, because I don't even talk about it. I was in school and I was a bank teller, a certified bank teller, because back then they made you go to school to be a bank teller. Can you believe that? At least back during then, yeah. You know, they made you go to school just to be a bank teller. At least for me, you had to be certified as being a bank teller. I know it sounds weird, you know, but yes, I was doing bank teller. What inspired me is that I wanted to be more, and I knew that my life was just not centered on being that bank teller, because my career was supposed to have been a spinoff of going into the Air Force, doing it big, doing it great and things, being that particular officer. But, you know, God always knew our path, and the door opened up for me to become one of a firefighter. It was between police and fire. This was an area whereby it was not even considered to be called a career for women, period. Especially being a woman and being an African American female. Let me be corrected on that. So no, so it was not even heard of.
Was there a phone call involved? How did you get to that first step, that first meeting with your future, you know, job as being a firefighter?
Now, this is the part that may seem a little strange or different for those that don't believe in God. But I had a dream and a vision that I would be a firefighter. And one of the dreams and the vision, I had on a hat with my, you know, with the dress, class dress. I think it was a B class dress, because they have different class dresses, or A. But what I'm saying, I was dressed up with a hat on, and I was like, wow, you know, she's looking official. And not knowing that, pursuing that, becoming an certified Florida inspector, and as a firefighter, and then being a public educator for the city of Jacksonville, going around teaching and educating, not just for jobs, but traveling. You're never prepared for something when people are bullying you. It never deterred me, because of the simple fact, the strength that I had and the other shoulders that I was standing on, such as my ancestors. They had already given me the way because of the fight and the struggle back doing what you call the time of being able to vote, being able to say women have a right to be on the job. And even then, it still wasn't no right when they was trying to say we have a right. But I made it that right because I believe that I was supposed to do something with the strength that I had in me, and that was to make a way for other women, you know, to inspire them.
What was training like?
Training was Greek for me. I did not know anything about a ladder. I didn't know nothing about a pump, about a hose. The only thing I knew that a fire hydrant just spit out water, but to know how to wrap the hose around it and to catch it, no, had no idea. So it was completely Greek to me. And when I say Greek, you know, I'm not Greek, but if I got some Greek people in my family, hello. But no, it was Greek to me, trying to learn something totally different. And it was okay because of the simple fact, you have to have the endurance to know that this is your path.
Do you remember on that day or any of like the beginning phases of any other women starting off with you and not making it?
Ooh, there were women and they were just, they put it this way, I wouldn't say that they didn't want to make it. I would just say the rigorous training was just too much for them. And back then, it was, because it wasn't friendly, the atmosphere. I mean, if you couldn't pick up, say for instance, a ladder, and at that time, that ladder was like 150 pounds, but it was a technique how you could grab it and things. If you couldn't pick that ladder up and then walk with it and place it back on the engine, I can't tell you how I did it. I can't hurt bleed. Yeah, but I can't tell you how I did it. I just looked at the technique, and then I had other young men who encouraged me and said, girl, you can do this. You got this. And I believed it too. I said, yeah. They said, just remember where to grab it from. But just think about it.
Did you make any friends during training, like girlfriends?
We had no time to become girlfriends or things like that. It was one particular individual that I do know that came on, but they released her because she was very strong, and I feel like that she was awesome. But it was all about individuals playing that mind over manipulation game to get you to quit and to say that you would not do it, and they were good at it. Because back then, you had men, just because of the way that they were taught and they were trained, they still believe in nooses. They still believe in, you know, such thing as, you know, we just don't want any blacks, less known a woman. They believed in that. It was hardcore in them. Now, whether or not it was because that they didn't know no better or because they adapted that attitude, it could have been both. But what do that have to do with me when I can do the same job that you is training me to do, and I just want you to give me a chance? See, back then, what you call respect, to understand that you was black, there was no respect. So let me just say that much. It did not matter whether or not you were a male and female, but especially that you was a woman. There was no respect. So for those that can go to work and they respect you as being that black woman, tell God thank you. I never experienced that. Oh, when I was in the training academy, and one of the instructors made a point that women should be barefooted and in the kitchen and pregnant, you know. And I told him that I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me, and this woman is not in the kitchen gonna be pregnant and barefooted, okay? I'm gonna carry that hose, and I'm gonna fight them fires just like you doing it, and I'm gonna get that pension just how you're preparing for your wife. So I was very bold, which they did not like that as being a woman, but I can't say I didn't know any better. But I thank God once again for the shoulders that I was standing upon that paved the way to teach me not to back down when you're in your truth. So I was very thankful of that. So I never wavered with them.
Now, did you ever feel like there were moments that they tried to sabotage your training? Or just make it extra hard?
Ooh, every day it was like walking the green mile.
What did it feel like to graduate from the academy?
Oh, it just felt so rewarding to know. And the good thing about it, when I graduated, they didn't waste time on sending me to my station, which was the next working day. And I was like, huh?
Wow.
I'm truly going to work? And you know, I had no time. Meaning that I was not on, they made us feel like we was on a waiting list, of course, because you have to tell people that. But I never had to wait for a job. When I graduated, I went to work.
Do you recall your first run?
Of course I recall my first run. My first run was going to somebody that died in the fire.
Talk about that. Okay,
You know,
I need to get this.
I cannot tell you all of
the details, no, but
yeah,
just
because people, families, and things like that. You get what I'm saying?
we'll talk about the first run later because Gigi has to go in here and get set up. Okay? You're doing good. Good.
I have not been to this building since I retired. Go outside.
We can either go down here. She got your pocketbook. Okay, just a question. Okay. Do you remember how old you were when you decided to become a firefighter?
I was 8 years old.
Wow.
Because of a situation that happened with my family where my sister, my older sister who actually named me, lost a baby in a house fire. And because of the situation and the way that it was handled, I felt that if I had been there, that I would have been able to go in and save the baby, which at 8 years old, I know I probably wouldn't have been able to do. But from that day on, I always said that when I grow up, I'm going to be a fireman, because that's actually what they called them at that time, because we're talking about the 1960s. During my school career, and when I wrote that on my papers, my teachers say, well, why don't you want to be a nurse or a school teacher? I'm like, no, I'm going to be a fireman, because I don't ever want to see another person lose their life in a house fire. And from that day on, that was my goal. So that's it.
Wow. Did you know of any other black African-American firefighters in your state at the time, or anywhere for that matter?
Well, there were actually men, African-American men, that were firefighters. George Smith in Jacksonville was the first African-American firefighter hired in the city, so I knew of him. And Hastings Williams was also a firefighter, and I knew him through my family association. But as far as talking with them or trying to get information from them, I never did do that. I just always wanted to do it on my own.
What was, if I could ask you, can you recall anything about physical training before you made it as an official firefighter?
Well, for physicality, I was a cheerleader in high school. I was a cheerleader in college. I was a semi-pro cheerleader in Jacksonville. I cheered for the Jacksonville Sharks, the Jacksonville Bulls. So as far as the physical portion was, I had good physical abilities, but poor upper body strength.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you maybe a sensitive question. Can you recall anything in your training to become a firefighter that discouraged you as being a black woman? This is for Black History Month, as being a black woman.
what discouraged me the most was that they felt that no women could do it. And there were 2 black females, 2 white females, and it always seemed like the white females were being encouraged, where the black females were being derogatorily persuaded. You need to be barefoot and pregnant. You can't do it. It's a man's job. You're taking it away from my relative or from my son, where all of the instructors were white males. So when they said their relatives, they were virtually speaking of their white offspring, and that was discouraging. But for me, I always felt that this was what I wanted to do, and I asked for extra help, and I was gracious enough to receive that from some of the instructors. So the discouraging and disparaging remarks only inspired me to do better.
So, did you realize by wanting to become a firefighter that you were going to make history, or did you know how difficult that it was going to be? Did you think about those things?
No, because there were actually women in the fire service when I got hired, but they were not civil service employees. They were hired through a federal grant program, and those women were not certified. There had never been a woman to actually go through the training academy. So by me finishing that program, I was actually the first woman to actually complete the training program and get hired as a professional firefighter.
Wow. How did that make you feel at the graduation?
I was just glad it was over. I needed a job. I wanted a job. I left a job to come to the fire department. So it was in my best interest to do well, because I had an excellent paying job when I came to the fire department. So I didn't want to lose a good job and not have a job. But other than that, I mean, I was happy that it was over, elated to the fact that I could actually go and pursue a profession that I thought was what I wanted to do as an adult. And that way I could take care of myself and my family.
How many years did you serve?
28.
28 years. Wow. Yeah, the color.
The lens.
I mean, look at their natural hair.
Girl, we couldn't have done this.
Couldn't have done any of that.
All that would have had to go. All
Wow.
that would have had to go.
What that?
All that had to go.
Oh yeah.
The natural hair.
I love you.
Wow.
I ain't seen you in a while. I know. I thought that you had retired and all, but you're still
Uh-huh. How you feeling, Gigi?
I feel so great. It's so good to see, new people and Glenda and the other young ladies that I know that still existing. But I feel so excited.
Walked away from the light.
And this is my girl Francine.
Hi.
What do you enjoy the most about being a female?
Freedom that comes along with this career. The 1 day on, 2 days off, and just a stable career, great benefits, awesome pension and retirement.
Amen.
All right.
Yes.
It is rewarding.
So I'm gonna stand over here. Ask you, how does it make you feel to see all the young women with their ability to wear their natural hair, their locks, braids, whatever they want to do?
That's absolutely encouraging because in '79 when I was hired, the first thing they made me do was to cut my hair. I was not allowed to bind it, braid it, or put a hairpin or anything in it. It had to be 2 inches or less in length, and that was from the scalp to the root, from the root of the hair or the scalp to the tip, no longer than 2 inches. So it's really encouraging to see that they have been allowed to wear their hairstyles as they desire now.
You can have a seat if you want to. Okay. What's your name?
Dallas Cook.
What inspired you to become a firefighter?
I became a firefighter particularly just because I used to work in the hospital as an ER tech, and I would see the rescue people coming in and out, and I decided to go to EMT school. And when I went to EMT school, that's how I found out about fire school. And I didn't know whether I wanted to be a firefighter or not, and going through fire school made my mind up. I knew this was the career for me.
What do you think made your transition to becoming a firefighter easier as a black female?
It isn't easy. I don't think anything helped my transition other than trying to surround myself with like-minded and people that look like me. At the time when I came on the job, there were 4 other black female African-American female firefighters, and we all just linked up and helped each other out through the process.
What was it like on your first run?
Scary. It was scary. I remember my first run was a pediatric cardiac arrest. And I think the whole while holding that baby in my hand, I just said, if this career is for me, please let this baby be okay. I prayed for the baby and just prayed that if this was the right move for me, that the baby was going to be okay.
Do you think that you would have been able to become a firefighter back when there were no black females?
Absolutely not. I'm
No.
so thankful for the females, the African American females that paved the way for me because they made it, I believe they made it easier for females today.
What's one of the biggest things that you've learned in giving back to the community being a firefighter?
I learned that as an African American firefighter, the community, the African American community loves us. They're so excited to see us. They're more excited to see a black woman pull up to their house than I am to be a firefighter.
And
They are, the community that we serve are truly love to see people that look like them come to their house, treating them with dignity, treating them like they're people when we visit their houses.
what is the legacy that you want to leave behind?
I want to just leave peace behind, and I want to let other African American females know that this is a career they can be a part of too.
And I've been with the department since 2001. I started as a dispatcher in 2001 and I transitioned over to firefighter in 2009. So my experience with the JFRD has been one of much growth. As a young black female who came in as a dispatcher, the challenges of adapting to a paramilitary environment for me was different. I learned a lot about the profession and about myself. But here I am, almost 16 years later, as a lieutenant in rescue. Some of the challenges, I am a go-getter. I am outspoken, and what I had to learn was to be quiet, listen, and even if you know the answer, you don't always have to tell everyone you know the answer. This is a team environment, and if you're not able to work with others, it can be quite challenging. So, you know, every day you learn something. When you stop learning, you're not living.
What inspired you to become a firefighter?
You know, I am an adrenaline junkie. So when I was in dispatch, I was that person that everyone said, sit down. You know, I was up there doing push-ups, doing squats, just trying to make it fun in the downtime. So I'm a physical person, and I've always liked helping people. I know that sounds cliche, but you really do have to like people to do what we do. like to know that I inspired someone to do what I do. I'd like to know that I showed some young female or young male that this is attainable. You know, I came from a very poor background. I was a teenage mother, and I overcame. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. And what I want to leave behind, what I want people to say about me when I'm gone is she was a go-getter and she inspired others.
Engineer Sharon A. Gould.
What inspired you to become a firefighter?
I actually didn't want to be a firefighter, but some people that were on the job were friends of mine. Some of the older people, A.B. Bronner, Chief Jones, they were telling me to look into it. And I still didn't want to do it, but A.B. was saying to me, because I lost my whole family in a fire when I was 9 years old, a brother, a sister, and my grandmother. So I didn't really have any interest. I'm like, why would I want to do something like that? And he said to me, you can go on the job and be in the prevention department. And through prevention, you can teach kids how to, you know, be safe in fires and how to escape from fire. So that's the real reason that I went into being a firefighter. Being, you know, the past that I had, I really wasn't interested in it. But that's the reason, and I'm glad I did, because I've been able to work with children and work through the apprentice program with JFRD. So it's been rewarding.
When you retire, what legacy do you want to leave behind as a African American firefighter?
That I was capable, that we are all capable, that even though we're women and people tell us that we're not able to do things, let that fuel you. Every time someone tells you what you can't do, let that fuel you to know that you can do that and so much more.
I look real good.
All right, here we go, for real.